Here we are. Newt in the bottom right. He is our golden brown Terran. Oh, no, sorry. Light olive. And TopRamen in the top left. Actually, I think this is probably snow again, but something about the hatch makes me think of, like, platinum or maybe silver pink. But it was just white. Regular old white Terran. I mean, Zerg. I got the color wrong and the race wrong. I should hang up my hat. Gamba up on Twitch. Bet on the last game, will Newt continue his comeback victory or will Ramen beat the set? Finish him off. 4-2. This wasn't an organized like tournament match or anything. This isn't like a best of 7. There was just practice games that we're casting for the love of the game. This is also going to be our final cast of the day, and then we'll be moving into about an hour of development where I work on some Escozy stuff, as well as some map pool related shenanigans. Hope you guys are looking forward to that. I certainly am. Again, shout out to Boneth for the raid. He's actually featuring in his second Cosmonarchy show match in the middle of September, September 13th, against none other than DeWalt. I told Boneth about the fact that DeWalt hasn't played it yet at the time of the show match being set up. And Boneth was like, oh, nice, I already have an advantage. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of like in regular StarCraft, though, too, right? It seems Boneth always narrowly gets the better of DeWalt in some of these situations. BSL, most recent most recent season being no exception. Spoilers, I guess. Crisis Vector is a map by Jujic. Or I think it was supposed to be pronounced Juji-K, but we've called him Jujic so much that now he's just accepted that that is his name. Classic move. Kind of like it was... Like, I think it was supposed to be B-Tib, but we call him Biddy B. And now that's his name too. So we've really done that a lot for some of our Cosmonarchy homies. Maverick sims across and sees what's going on. Scouting with the Mav instead of the Mason. I think this is actually how Newt prefers to scout these days. But it does reveal that you've gone bio, so there is a trade-off there, of course. We just need to give Mason stim, and then he'll use that instead. Was it Biddy? I thought it was Lucy who came up with Biddy B. I always thought that, but maybe Mesk did do it. Maybe Lucy remembers. Fast Vestry off of the 3 Stockade. Newt is going to have access to a lot of early units. He wants to try to march across the map. And again, Ramen going for his Circuit on the ramp. It is a little bit hard to actually bust this, but I suppose this sets you up nicely for a contain into a drop or something. Or just tech, you know, expand tech. Yeah, I swear Lucy said Biddy B in the server, like just typed it. Like BITTY-BEEE. And I thought that was amazing, and so and I guess Mesk agreed, and so we were both doing it. I thought that was that. But I always, like, in my head, whenever I said, oh yeah, it's Biddy B, like in the early stages of calling you that, I swear I was like, as of course said once by Lucy. So that was what in my brain I had that, but hey, whoever did it, thanks. Could be Mesk, could be Lucy. Zets catches the move out. We got a couple Zets pocketed over there. It's not going to do much versus all the bio, though. Quaz on the ramp, ready to go. And the Shroud is on the way. Skipping straight over to the Shroud. Newt going to go ahead and drop his Expand. We are going to see this little corridor here. He pushed in, and honestly, oh man, it was so close to them just kind of incidentally finding these Zeths, but for sure Ramen knows what's up now. Four Lake is on the way, Azorius on the way. I think he should be able to hold, honestly. But let's see. Maybe Newt can prove me wrong. He needs to get his Hurricanes up in the front and see him trying his best. He stims out the Mavs. Now he's going to deal with the Zets on the front line, or on the back line, I should say, where the Rokors are immediately mulched. Where's the restim? Where's the restim, Newt? You're going to need to gun him down the old-fashioned way. No fire to support you. And he will clear out all the Quas just in time for the Lakers. One of them to be popped, and the other one, ooh, so narrow. Almost could have gotten the Circuit. He just doesn't have any armor, and how is he ever going to get through the Zorius? That's my question. Reducing Maverick damage by 2. They're doing 4 damage a shot. Kind of wild. Ministry about to finish up here. Ramen can take his base now, but again, Newt is ahead economically. He's got his expansion already done. His star pad is coming up, and he's another set of 8 beautiful Mavericks moving across the map. I guess they'll be more beautiful once we remodel the graphic, but that's for later. And now it looks like Ramen wants to switch into the Calculator Lake. So upgrading his pool the first time, he's going to do it a second time soon after. A Quaz sacrificed as a scouting measure. Now, the map opens up a lot once you pass through this natural choke point, but most people just go in a straight line to their opponent, right? That is the fastest way to your opponent, after all. Now, 2 extra stockades being added. I think there's a Cestus in the front line, or maybe that's just a rally. Oh, no! Ramen bungling those 2 Lakes. He's only got 1 left. And there's no detection here for Newt. He's adding the Cestus on the front line, so he's safe from an attack, but like killing 2 Lakes without any detection as a bio player, that feels so free. How is Ramen possibly supposed to tech into his Apex strains if he has to keep reinvesting into those Lakes just to stay alive? More Zets sacrificed, not taking the long way around. Hatch only now finishing up. It's going to be a while before the Kagra spreads so that he can put down some more static defense. At the very least, I guess he could get a Khaz'trith, but that's another bit of Vespene. And see, he actually hasn't been able to upgrade his pond into the lake. Covenant now coming up. That's the timing Newt wants. He's got a lot of minerals left in the bank, so he could queue up another base or more stockades. We'll see if that's what he wants to do. Antseal started up. Ramen spending down his money on workers, trying to catch back up, and he actually has not transferred a lot of workers, so he's really oversaturated over here. After you get 2 workers for each mineral field, your next worker is going to be way less efficient, way less helpful. Diminishing returns kick in at that point. Narrowly staying alive is that Zethracore. Now we're going to see a little bit of a movement from Ramen. Remember, Newt's army is like kind of split in twain. Only 4 Lakes. That's not the scariest thing for the bio player. Antseal about to finish, and then he can maybe try to go for a contest, but not when that happens. He's got to cycle back. Yeah, good movement. Good juking back and forth. We even have the Antseal out down here in the bottom. These power generators are likely to be blown open if the game goes long, because they do frustrate unit pathing. Catches him on the Zeth Scout. Ramen not going to get very much intel at all, other than the fact that his enemy's army is very large. I guess that's pretty much it. Now we got that Calculator Lake going. So Ramen's actually not in the worst of positions. Maverick stims to get away. I like that we're splitting up the army a little bit here for Newt, because he's kind of cycling over to the other side. In doing so, though, Ramen taking a funny path is actually going to reveal that this is happening, and Newt's going to have to abandon the idea of pushing in with the a roundabout attack. Or if he is going to go for it, he's going to have to do it a little bit differently. Now, the Savants reveal themselves. Harakas are going to keep the rest of the front line a bit healthy, and the Antseal's shielding them in turn. Yeah, the Terran is controlling the map right about now. This kind of style of moving your army in 2 different pieces, something we don't see too often in Cosmonarchy for unit movement. You can see it's falling apart a little bit up here, but all right. Cycles it over. He's going to check 12 o'clock and then probably come on down this way. And Ramen is preempting that army movement, right? So I think we're in an okay spot for the Zerg, but as the army gets spotted by Newt's strike force up here, his side force, stims his way up the ramp, keeps himself safe there. He can go after the other 3rd base with the rest of his army, or he can just protect the ministry that he's got over here. There's a random lake. That is such a weird spot for that to be in. You can hold pause lurker in the same way, you have to do it with an Ovaleth selected Overlord equivalent. Yeah, look at this. When does one lake just rock up to your 3rd base and start attacking it, dude? That's so weird. So Masons are down here to deal with that. He can go ahead and step on the unit or just wait for Xantseals to show up. So no big deal there. It just slightly slows it. Does pull the army back, though. And all of a sudden, Ramen is trying to make sure he respects the small squad up here. See Newt responding to that. The surround is in. This army won't be able to get out. Let's see how much damage they can do on the other side. Newt trying to move his way up. See what he can make happen. Stim comes up. He's focusing down Zoryus. I guess that's not a bad choice. I mean, obviously you would have loved to kill the Lakes, but if there's no Zoryus, the rest of the ground army can't actually fight you. Whenever the Zoryus makes contact with an enemy, they attack something. They're a melee unit. They tag it, and then all other allies of the Zoryus move faster when they're moving towards the Zorius' victims. So that ends up helping out quite a bit. Now, even though we have some Lyra here, it's not nearly enough to break the Ancial shield stacked up here. Mavericks are stimming now, a little bit late, it feels like, but they still end up carving through a lot. Oh, man, look at all those spines, though. I feel like Newt is a little bit wild for going for that fight. Rendered his army very much incomplete. Third base slowly being saturated. One Zeth harassing it. We got a dozen Lakes frontlining versus the bio. Newt doesn't realize it yet, but he can just turn over and shoot. And he will start doing so now, forcing the burrow. Trying his best to keep the Ant-Seals over the targets. He actually thins the herd a lot. This is kind of like PvT killing siege tanks. Very similar in Cosmonarchy when you're fighting the Zerg. You run down that Lakes amount, and it's a lot harder for the Zerg to siege any one position. Now, we've seen 5 extra stockades be added, so we are at 10 stockade. It's very cool. Ant-Seals again, trying to prevent those Lakes from doing too much. And, oh, they're stacked up on top of each other. Well, eventually the Savants will have to start falling away, but they killed 2 Lakes in the process and also dealt a pretty steady blow to some of the other units. Now, we do have one Zorius leading a whole pack of Quas off to the other side. They will descend upon this base, and there aren't that many reinforcements, so this does feel like maybe Newt's going to be in trouble. But his Mason actually reveals it ahead of time. Now he can pull his army away from the middle of the map. The Cestus is going to land in the middle. I don't know that it's going to stay alive for very long. Ant-Seals arrive just in time to protect the small amount of army units here. Savants are going to go ahead and rout the Quas as they try to leave. And then, you know, the Cestus reveals, indeed, Quas and Lyra on the way. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well, as of about right this moment, the Savants, the Mavericks, they're in a good enough spot. I guess we got some Hurricanes in there as well. The Quas come back in, though. That's going to force a reaction. Newt's going to pinch off a couple of his units and send them over. Meanwhile, his Ant-Seals are going to try to protect his big back line. The Hurricanes aren't quite able to do anything here. They would go a really heavy extra mile attacking those Zorius. It looks like maybe it's not going to be enough for Ramen anyway, though. All of his damage is gone. It's just a couple Ultra Cores, and this number of bio is going to be able to mulch through him, losing everything in the process and not at all resetting enough of the Terran army. The Lakes did a lot of damage there, like 1,000 each, but it wasn't quite enough. More of them are on the way. I just don't think it's going to be good. I really can't see how Ramen comes up here. A lot of his Quas went down without killing too many Masons, too. It's not even like he did a lot of counter damage. Newt still has a narrow worker advantage. No extra base coming up. Ultra Core's coming, but I feel like Newt can push for the victory here. Three o'clock going to be taken. It is a treasury on location. Ministry everywhere else. 12 o'clock not even on the board here for Ramen. Ooh. That's a lot of Lakes going down. Juicy from the Savants. Man mode Savant, by the way, not even bothering to deploy into the turret. Newt hasn't discovered that button yet in this timeline. We've got triple Ultra Core, but I don't think that's going to be enough, man. It's just not enough at all. There's plenty of corpses for them to eat, but the pressure, well, maybe they can try to start running away with this up in the top right. All the clerics over here try to heal the one Savant standing tall. Yeah, reinforcements are actually going to be required. The Ultra Cores did end up getting to a point where it was mostly just clerics healing and not really enough units shooting. But the Remax is here. 2 more stockades being added. Just a glorious amount of bio. Bruising the Ultra Cores. They'll come over to 3 o'clock and maybe get a little bit of eco damage dealt. See, an anchor's been made. Can only fit 2 Savants in there, but could still be good. What's up, Godwheat? Welcome to the chat. The Ant-Seals shielding the Ultra Cores. That blocks lifesteal, I'm pretty sure. That's pretty good. Oh, welcome back from the dentist. Mr. Shopdog, I hope your visit went well and you're not too numb. It does feel like Newt's about to rock out over here and finish the job. Got a nice little line. Just naturally spread out his army that way. The one Lake is not going to be able to get too much done. A little bit of damage, that's about it. Ooh, ooh. Couple Lakers re-attempting. Re-aggressing towards the 3 o'clock position. Ramen's done a really good job of extending play, but he's always just reacting to the army movement of Newt, right? He's not able to really slow his growth too much. This is the first real amount of damage he's actually dealt in quite a while. 12 o'clock just finished. We got 2 Lakers. They're going to go to 6, but there's nothing there. Maybe they can walk in the front, but I highly doubt it with all those units. Yeah, as it turns out, when you make the ministry, you can win the game. I don't know if you knew that, dog. And you know what? Is it any coincidence? He makes the treasury, can't win the game there. Has to win the game with his ministry instead. All right, there's no doubting that Ramen knows how to make the Lakers unit, but I don't know if it's going to be quite enough. Ant-Seals, 7 strong. Savants are kind of split off here. The rest of the army at 12, they got to come down the ramp. He could cycle this squad back and will do so away from the Lakers that get the speed boost from the Zoryus, but it's not enough, man. It's just not enough. There's Hurricanes everywhere. We got more Ultra Cores trying to descend on it. Can they lifesteal enough? Oh, one of them's already popped. The others are so low without even any focus fire, they're falling. And now with the Zoryus finally collapsing, the Lakers cannot hold. Ant-Seal stack galore. Too many shieldings. Despite the weakness to splash damage, it just wasn't enough, man. Newt led the game economically pretty much the whole time. And with that, he's got so many more units. Ramen has no more chances here. Anywhere on the map Newt wants, it's crushed from this position. Trying to eke forward everywhere he can, but Ramen just... There's not enough here, man. There's just not enough. "12 Stevans at a time." He's made so many. Look, he's even stuck a couple behind there. That's the real macro man way of bypassing that limitation. Build enough units that they pop out. All right, the Hurricanes are descending. Lakers are going to get a final little glory shot. Ant-Seal's not even protecting the bio army up here. It doesn't matter. The Zoryus getting mulched. More Hurricanes streaming in. Ultra Core will eventually be dealt with. We got anchors on the front lines. This is not a very efficient fight for Newt, but even as Ramen barely holds on, there's another fully maxed army waiting to move across the map. And they are doing so. Even this force is enough. Anchors on the front. We got 5, 6 Lakers or so. And that's about it that's left as the reinforcements pour on through. Ramen, desperate for anything, is making quads so he can turn them into Lyra, but I don't think it's going to even finish, dude. Newt gathering his forces, gathering his strength. We got so many Lakers. So little time. These almost 20 Lakers. There's no joke. If only Newt went after the actual base. Oh my god, the Ant-Seal count. 10 Ant-Seals. I mean, good luck trying to bust that many. At some point, he did send 1 or 2 Lakers over here. 12 kills between them. Trying to come out and bust out, but it's not going to work out at all. Finding Lakers all over the place. Just to be silly, just to be annoying. More of them coming in. Oh, man. You're going to get used to the Lakers death sound, I'll tell you that much. Ant-Seal's trying their best to keep things going. Another cycle of bio, moving up to uppercut that third base. While again, Ramen barely holds on over here. The Ant-Seals can cycle over. And there is nothing over here for defense. It's almost a mono comp. 11 more Lakers in production. But he's losing his third base, and this is it. A 20-minute ridiculous game where both players just stuck to tier 1 forever and ever. A couple more Lakers will eventually be cleaned up. Rest of the army now moving out mid. I've been in Ramen's position plenty of times before. I've got nothing for defense, and I just keep moving around trying to distract my opponent. Oh my god. Can't reclaim the third base. Can't crack open the Antseal stack. It's pure Savant Cleric now on the ground. Last-ditch effort, but the Zets won't last very long. And that is going to be a wrap here. Ramen is down and out. Throwing good Lake is after bad. GG is called as the last of his units are expunged. Now you know as much as I do, LOL. GG's, or G's. Thanks for the help, says Newt, as he claims his third consecutive win. Anytime. Ramen keeps it all going inside the Terran Cabal.